Hi guys! So here we are, 1 week after the release of the last trailer of Avengers Infinity War. Here is my theory video, so you'll see today whatever I'm thinking about the movie and what I'm thinking what will happen in that movie. So I know there's like a lot of video already that were released about that, but I'll give you my point of view on what I think about the movie. What I'm offering you today is that I'll try to tell you exactly how I think the movie will happen. I have a guess on how it will start and how it will go to the climax of the movie. Then I have no clue exactly in which order, and I have no clue what will happen after that. I mean, we know that we will have like a big fight in Wakanda and all that, but there is many things that are blurry, and hopefully it's blurry because we want to go to see the movie to know what will happen. If we knew already everything, it will be like ruining the full things. Just before I start, there is many people that ask me in the comments if I'm French or not. Yes, I am French. Bonjour tout le monde, je suis française. I do speak French and English, both of them fluently. French is my mother tongue. I'm French. English, I learned it like a few years back, and I'm actually working in an American college, so I'm speaking English during my full day, but I know I have a huge French accent, and I'm still doing a lot of grammar mistakes, so I hope it's not a big deal for you, and you still enjoy my video anyway. So let's go, and I'll go, so be up to date to everything that was released, trailer, movie up to date, so till Black Panther, and all the press, also pictures, photos of the set, and also press, all the interview of the people, because I will use all that. And we also use some stuff that happened in the comics, but I'll try to not go too deep into that, because I think they won't follow exactly what happened in the comics. So I don't want to rely too much my theory on the comics. I will try to rely my theory on what was released in the MCU, in the picture of the set, and in the interview of the actor, as well as in the trailer. So let's go. So first off, I think the movie will start where we stopped in Thor Ragnarok. We saw the ship of Thanos coming on the ship of the Asgardian. So I think Thanos and the Black Order will arrive on the ship. Thanos at that time has already won Infinity Stones, as you can see on the trailer. I think all the Asgardian will be killed, and you can see is the Asgardian. You can see here one of the guy that were a slave in Thor Ragnarok. You can also tell that this guy walking around them is not Loki, like the trailer wants us to think. It's actually one of the Black Order guy. Actually, Ebonimo, you can tell by his boots and his pants, as you can see on the statue that was revealed in one of the Marvel Expo. Loki got the Tesseract when they left Asgard on Thor Ragnarok, and you will offer it to Thanos, because, I mean, you should remember that in Avengers 1, Loki has a huge debt toward Thanos, because he lost the scepter and the Infinity Stone that was in it, and lost the Tesseract too. So it's very logical that he would try to give back the Tesseract to Thanos to clear his debt, at least try to clear half of his debt. I also think that he will give the Tesseract in order to save Thor's life. I think that's exactly the same scene where we see Loki surrounded by the Black Order. So I think at that time he's giving the Tesseract to Thanos to try to save Thor's life. So during this fight, Hulk will be defeated by Thanos and thrown outside the ship, and then he will land on Earth later on. And I think Thanos will also defeat Thor and throw it out of the ship, and he will end up on the ship of the Guardian of the Galaxy, as previously shown in the first trailer that was released last year during the Comic-Con, and that leaked all around the internet. And Loki, I think, unfortunately, will die in that ship. So Loki will be the first death of that movie, and I think also probably Heimdall will probably die also on that ship, which is also very sad. But maybe he could survive. I don't know. I'm not sure, but my guess is that Heimdall and Loki will die on that ship at that moment, which will start the movie on a very, very, very harsh starting. We'll end up with Thanos getting his second Infinity Stone. I think he already has the other stone because he already went to the Nova Corp and he already killed everyone there. So then we'll follow either Thor, either Hulk. So what I'm thinking is that right now we'll keep on going with the Thor story. So as I say, he will land on the ship of the Guardian of the Galaxy. He will enter the ship. The Guardian of the Galaxy probably will present themselves. Thor will explain what happened, and at that time, Gamora will explain who is Thanos. Because I think what we saw in the second trailer, when Gamora explaining who is Thanos, she's not saying it to Tony like the trailer wants us to think. She's actually explaining it to Thor. And Tony seems to be in the house of Doctor Strange. He is not at all in the ship with them. So I think Gamora is explaining the story here. I think we'll have the flashback also at that time, showing Gamora as a child. I think Gamora will try to comfort Thor because he lost all the Asgardian. He's the only Asgardian left. She will try to explain how her own kind has been completely killed by Thanos. They have been all wiped out, so I think she'll explain that here at that time in the movie. Thor will tell them that he already has one Infinity Stone. I think he will probably tell the color, and they will guess that it's from the Nova Corp, so they will go to the Nova Corp planet and they'll saw it completely destroyed. Then they will decide to separate into groups. So Groot, Thor and Rocket will go to help Thor to get a new hammer forge. And on their way, on their side, Star-Lord, Gamora and Drax will go on the planet of Thanos. So if we keep going with Thor, I think they will go toward the dwarf, and I think the leader of the dwarf we might be played by Peter Dinklage. It was not officially said, but I have the feeling it will be, and some rumor went all over the net about that. So let's see if it's the case or not. It will be very nice. So yeah, so that's what we see in the first trailer. We see Thor grabbing, you know, like a huge round thing. So I think it's where he's forging actually his new hammer. And in the second trailer, when we see him, you know, with the light, I think he's actually having the hammer in his hand, but it was just removed for the trailer to not show the hammer right here. But I think that's where Thor will get the hammer. And then Thor, Rocket and Groot will probably come back to Earth at that time. So we let them here. Then let's go back to Hulk. Okay, so Hulk has been thrown on Earth. So I think this is Hulk that we see coming into the atmosphere. We see it on the plan of New York, and we see it also on the window of the Sanctum Sanctorum. So I think it's actually Hulk that's going through the atmosphere. And then we land directly on Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum. So as it happened in Avengers 1, you know, when Hulk went on Earth after leaving the helicarrier, I think it's what will happen here. He will just transform back to Banner at that time. And so Banner will explain to Doctor Strange what happened, and Banner will just think to go to pick up Tony. So he will go straight to the headquarters of the Avenger, and that's where he will find actually Tony and Pepper. So if you saw those images that was released on the set of Avenger, I think Tony is in with Pepper right here. You can see the ring on Pepper's hand, the ring that she probably accepted after Spider-Man Homecoming. So they're actually right now engaged. So I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, my pepperoni heart will say that they're probably talking about a wedding or something like that. But Bruce will come and interrupt them. So you can tell from the picture that they are both very surprised, because you have to remember that they didn't see Bruce since Age of Ultron. So he's been out of Earth for many years now. So Bruce seems very panicked. He will explain quickly to Tony what happened. So Tony will probably say bye to Pepper, and they'll go straight to the Sanctum Sanctorum of Doctor Strange. Now they will have a talk. At that time, I think Tony will use the phone of Steve Rogers, the phone that Captain America gave him at the end of Captain America Civil War, to call him because he will need help, because the threat seems to be very imminent and very huge. I think it's during that phone call that Captain America, Black Widow, and all the other Avengers will get to know what's happening with Thanos. I think they will come up with a plan to save the only Infinity Stone that they know. So they know about the Time Stone that probably Doctor Strange will let them know about. And they know about the stone that's on the Vision forehead that was in the scepter of Loki before. So they probably give the mission to Captain America and Black Widow to go to pick up Vision and Scarlet Witch in Endambur. I don't know, starting that point, it starts to be a bit more blurry on the plot, which hopefully it's normal because we want to be surprised still when we go to the movie. But I guess Tony and Doctor Strange and Bruce Banner will hear some noise coming from outside. They'll open the door and see this huge ship. The ship that Peter Parker will see on his side too while on the bus school trip. Tony will probably see Peter Parker going on the ship, and he will suit up on his new bleeding edge armor. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that armor. Anyway, so he'll suit up and follow Peter Parker because he knows Peter can't breathe in a space with his old suit. He'll give him the new Iron Spider suit. I think Doctor Strange will follow them on the ship. I mean, it's easy for him, just a gate and teleportation. That's so easy. I wish I could be Doctor Strange. That's when the dialogue between Peter and Doctor Strange will happen. I also think that's this is at that moment that the torture of Doctor Strange will happen. If you look at the background of the conversation between Doctor Strange and Peter, and you look at the background of the torture scene, it looks to be the same. It looks to be in the same ship, same kind of background. So I think the ship is not actually empty. It probably has some people from the Black Order in it. Also, when you look at the plan of New York, when Tony is going out of the Sanctum, it looks like there is a battle here. I don't know if you remember all those scenes with the battle with Doctor Strange and an Iron Man around and all that. So I'm not sure at that time what's happening. I'm not sure if maybe Doctor Strange is doing the gate to join on the ship and Iron Man is flying around it to go on the ship before him. I don't know exactly what's happening there. I don't know if there is like a fight scene, because it seems to have like a lot of things on the street, a lot of people running around. Is the fight is before they go on the ship, or is it after they come back from the fight on Titan? That I'm not sure also, so it has to be more clear. But what I'm thinking is that when they're on this ship, Doctor Strange getting tortured by maybe one member of the Black Order, or not, because again, the way they edit the trailer can be something to mislead us. We know that this Ebony guy used to be the one nemesis of Doctor Strange in the comics, but maybe they're just trying to misleading us on that, and maybe Doctor Strange is not tortured by him. I have no clue. But whatever's happening here, it will end up on Titan. Doctor Strange, Peter and Tony will end up meeting the Guardian of the Galaxy, Star-Lord, Drax and Gamora. That will be on Titan too. And then Thanos will come up on Titan, definitely. And then a huge fight will come. You can see Spider-Man fighting, you can see Star-Lord fighting, being helped by Doctor Strange. So I think on that time, on that planet, they will have death, definitely. I'm guessing that probably Drax will die, because Drax really wants to kill Thanos. I don't know if you remember that scene.
Of course, Ronan was only a puppet. It's really Thanos I need to kill.
Where Drax really show us that he really wants to kill Thanos, and I think Drax is not strong enough to kill Thanos, so he will probably die on that planet. Gamora might die too, because there is a theory saying that to have the control of the Soul Stone, you need to kill someone that's very close to you. Thanos could kill Gamora. That's why also we have this very touching flashback. Nebula also might be a target, because she's the adoptive also daughter of Thanos. I think Star-Lord will stay alive. On our other Avenger, so we have Doctor Strange, Spider-Man and Tony Stark. I think Doctor Strange will stay alive. And I think Peter Parker will die, definitely. So that's why Tony Stark seems to be so sad. And if you remember the trailer that leaked from the Comic-Con, Peter Parker seems to be in a very bad state, and he's apologizing and saying sorry to Tony.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So I think Peter Parker is dying here. I think Tony will survive. That's a guess. So I know many people think Tony will die in that movie. It's a possibility. I wish he won't die because it's really a character that I love a lot. But if he does, I don't see really the point to make him die here right now. So I think they'll keep him alive because I think it's a character that's important to the MCU. And even for the future, they can keep him, you know, in the comics, he was the director of the SHIELD for a while. They can keep him as the director of the SHIELD being in the background, and they don't have to show him in every movie, but they can just mention him. I don't know what's their plan on that, but I don't think so Tony Stark will die on this planet. I think Peter Parker will, Drax will, and maybe Gamora will, which will be like a very bad emotional state right now because Star-Lord will be completely devastated. And Tony Stark also, because of the death of Peter Parker, he will feel like responsible for. There is some rumor also about maybe Pepper Pot suiting up as a rescue, because in the comics Pepper Pot is also a superhero. She has her own armor, and she's named Rescue. To be honest with you, I don't think so how she'll end up on Titan and why she'll end up on Titan. That's something that seems very fantasy for me, but some people say that it might be possible because in one of the plans, Iron Man seems to be very thin, and it might be Rescue and not Iron Man. I'm not sure about that. So one of the possibilities is that Pepper Pot's dying on Titan too, and that's why Tony is that sad. But I'm not sure about that. I think it seems to be very impossible. But let's see. Then I think. To save up the thing, Doctor Strange will probably create a gate for them to go back on Earth. They'll go back on Earth, and anyway, Thanos will follow on Earth. So I don't know if the battle scene we see in New York will happen now, or if it happened before they went on Titan. That's something that I'm not sure of. Then we have the other side, so the team of Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine, and Falcon, and White Wolf, and all that. So they are all. So what will happen is that I think they'll go to pick up Vision and Scarlet Witch. So they'll arrive at the time Vision is assaulted by the Black Order. Captain America will get the spear of the Black Order. Black Widow will be amazing too in that fight. Anyway, all that will end up in Wakanda. They will go to Wakanda to find a shelter, I think. Captain America will explain everything to T'Challa. They will find Bucky Barnes that became White Wolf there. And then a huge fight will happen in Wakanda because Thanos will feel that the Mind Stone is there. I think surely before Thanos comes, we'll try to help Vision to get the stone out of his forehead. That's why we see her with the hologram vision of Vision. That's a weird thing. And that's when we see also Vision as a human. I think when he doesn't have the stone on his forehead anymore, he's becoming a human. And I think that scene happened actually after the surgery. And what Scarlet Witch is trying to do here is trying to persuade him that the stone is still on his forehead, so he's not feeling bad. So that scene probably happened here just before the fight, and then we'll get the full fight in Wakanda with Bruce Banner inside the Hulkbuster because he doesn't want to become Hulk again, because he's scared that Hulk will take over him, because I mean you have to remember that he's been the Hulk for more than 2 years, and he's very scared that Hulk will take control of his body forever. But I think it won't really work because you can see in one of the plans that the Hulkbuster will be overloaded with aliens, and I think Hulk will just explode out of the Hulkbuster, because you can see in another scene that Hulk is here with everyone else before the assault. So Bruce Banner will again transform into Hulk. Will it be for the last time? That's a big question mark. Because it's possible that we won't see any more Mark Ruffalo in all the other movie. Maybe Hulk will stay Hulk forever. Let's see. And then we have this amazing scene with Captain America and Thanos, which is heartbreaking. It's amazing and heartbreaking at the same time, because he seems to be able to stop it for a while, but I'm pretty sure that the end of that scene will be very dramatical for Steve Rogers, because there is no way he'll be strong enough to defeat Thanos. So I think that scene will probably lead to the death of Steve Rogers. So why am I thinking that? I mean, I'm thinking that because it's overdue, because in the comics Steve Rogers actually died in Civil War, which didn't happen in the MCU, and Captain America is also dying in Infinity War comics book. But might be that the MCU won't make him die also, like they did for Civil War, so we never know. But the thing is that I have something also that triggered that to me. It's the last interview of ReikaJen in, what was it? In Empire, I think, where they asked him about his relationship with Chris Evans, and he said that sentence where he said that he'll be very sad with Chris Evans won't be Captain America anymore. That's a weird sentence, and that's a weird way to say it. It really feels like he's implying that someone else could be Captain America, which happened exactly in the comics, because at some point Bucky Barnes became Captain America in the place of Steve Rogers when Steve Rogers died. So we might see the death of Steve Rogers in Avengers Infinity War, but we'll see. That's something blurry, like the rest of it. So my guess for that movie is that we'll see probably the death of Drax, of Gamora, of Loki, of Heimdall, of Peter Parker, and probably Steve Rogers. We might be having Hulk forever and not see Bruce Banner again. And I think at the end of that movie, the one of the last scene of the movie will be actually the scene that we see Doctor Strange with the eye of Agamotto with the time stone, and then he's using the time stone. I think they won't use the time stone at all for the full movie, but at the end, Doctor Strange will go to the other dimension where the stone is hidden. He will take the time stone, and they will try to go back into time to try to erase whatever happened in Avengers Infinity War. Because we saw some picture of the set of Avengers 4, and you saw Tony Stark in a costume of the guard that were guiding Loki when he was made prisoner in Avengers 1. We also saw Tony Stark, Captain America, Loki, all wearing their costume of Avengers 1. We also saw Thor with Mjolnir, and everything looked like what happened in Avengers 1. So I think they'll probably go back in time to that time and try to stop Loki in another way, and try to do something else with the Tesseract and the Scepter to try to stop Thanos even before he came to Earth. On the other side, I think we'll get like small plot involving Hawkeye and Ant-Man. So I think after the event of Civil War and the fact that they've been prisoners together, Ant-Man and Hawkeye probably are friends, and I think they'll probably go on a mission by themselves, probably to go to find someone to help them to defeat Thanos. Could be Captain Marvel, so they could maybe just come together to try to find Captain Marvel. Maybe Nick Fury is around, and maybe Nick Fury will tell them what happened a few years back, because as you may know, Captain Marvel movie is coming soon, and we'll see what happened in the past in Captain Marvel. So maybe Nick Fury is aware of Captain Marvel existing, and will send Ant-Man and Hawkeye on the way to find her. I don't know, I'm not sure about that, but that's one of my guess. I think something we can see also, if it's not a Ant-Man and Hawkeye reunion on a mission, it might be something darker. So in the comics, Hawkeye become Ronin. So a new kind of superhero when something very dark happened to him. Something very dark that can happen to him in the MCU could be that his family could die. Maybe the Black Order can come and completely kill all his family, and then he can become very mad and become Ronin and come back in Avengers 4 and being very, very powerful in Avengers 4. So I don't know, that's also one of my guess. So there is many theories, many people could die. Actually, I'm pretty sure, my guess is that Thanos won't be having all the stone at the end of Avengers Infinity War. He will lack the time stone, and I think Doctor Strange will use the time stone to go back in time and try to erase what happened in Avengers Infinity War. So let's see. I'm not sure I'm right. Let me know what you think. Comment, please interact with me. I want to know what you think. I might do a second video just before the release of the movie to see if we got like new idea of what could happen. Please tell me what you think. Please comment. Please put a like under the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel, that will make me very, very happy. And don't forget to watch movies, read comics, and see you soon.